Hey, howdy, how's it going? In this video, I just wanted to kind of talk about some of your guys' comments that I saw in my past video regarding Skate, and I wanted to talk about things that I want to see for this game in the future. So I'll try to find a few and show them off, but there are a lot of people who had said things like, oh, you just can't enjoy anything, or, certain things like that. I'm just gonna bite this in the butt right now. For me, acknowledging that, hey, this game is gonna be free to play, it's gonna be online, it's gonna be live service, just literally all of the negatives that a game usually has. This is also AAA, so it's not like Helldivers, which is, you could say AA instead of AAA. It's not that big of a company, at least not yet. You can't really say that you shouldn't be expecting negatives or like the bad side to it when you hear these things about a game. We had games like Suicide Squad that did not need to be live service, could have been multiplayer or something or whatever, but they just completely messed it up because they came out with an item shop and there were just a lot of features missing that could have been implemented. It was just very boring and lackluster. The whole design of live service and things like that is not to design the game for the player to feel content and be done playing once they're done, or want to begin again in the future. It makes them continuously have to play. Obviously, the best comparison to this is something like Fortnite. Fortnite is live service. It has a battle pass. It has challenges that come out every week or so. It has random updates that come in, but it's only for that specific season. So if you miss out on it, you missed out on something that could have been fun potentially. Sometimes their updates suck, but that happens for every game. If Skate is going to be a live service kind of game, it's going to basically be Skate 3, but imagine if the only way to get and sell all of the boards you possibly could, you had to complete challenges that you were not interested in or did not feel happy with. They'll probably have something where you get 3 dailies and you can like reset or flip or I don't know, like redo a challenge or something, like change it, re-roll is the best term for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think the game would benefit heavily from a system like that, because it doesn't, it really, in reality, it's a lot of like, you have games like Elden Ring where you can play for hours and hours and hours. You can come up with several different builds. There's numerous of different ways to play. That's sort of gameplay. That's like, okay, I want to be a wizard this time, I want to fight with swords this time, I want to fight with just my fists. For Skate games, it's kind of like, I want to skate in this area, I like skating in this area, I like skating in this area. And something that I've seen a lot in the comments was that, or at least I saw a few times, I may not be able to find it, and if I don't, I don't, but understand that I did see a few comments that kind of acknowledged it, of people saying like, there wasn't really areas to skate that felt nice or interesting. It wasn't places where you would skate and you'd feel like you're like, it doesn't feel like skating. Usually if you imagine like Skate 3, there's a lot of rails, there's a lot of curbs and certain things like that you can skate off of. There's always an edge that you can be on, and something that I've seen was that there isn't really a whole lot of that. But yeah, back to the Elden Ring debate. Elden Ring, you can say, lost 90% of its players, and the only reason it lost that many players is because they're done playing. They don't want to play anymore. They don't feel like any reason to keep playing. Live service typically for like, whether it's something like Suicide Squad or like an attempt at live service, they're trying to keep players playing as consistently as possible so that they can show those numbers, because that benefits them. They get money that way, like most of those companies do, for saying that, hey, we have 400,000 people currently playing every single month. And it's like shareholders, like all those sorts of things that are involved with stuff like that. That's the only reason why they care. It's not because they actually care about the community. Like business-wise, they really don't. Developers might, and that's the thing, is in these like dev talk boardroom things, these people may give a bunch of shit about the game. They care, and they care about the community, but money comes first. It's their job. They don't need to really care that much. They can absolutely just say, hey, we're making this game because we are hired for it. It is a contract or something like that. We need to finish it. And they probably, I saw some things of like, maybe they didn't name it Skate 4 because Skate Period is kind of like a way to disconnect it. It's a completely different thing. They don't want it to be connected. I could see that. Something that I saw though, the one good side about it being like online only, all that stuff, like there's a few beneficial things to this, okay? It's free to play, so you don't even need to spend money if you want to try it out. Then you can kind of see like all the bullshit that's behind it. And on top of that, with it being like online live service, whatever, there's also crossplay. There will be cross progression. I believe they said you can even play like mobile, which is fucking crazy, but they're gonna have it for like PS4 and like old Xbox One and like PS5 and that whatever is, I don't know what is the equivalent for Xbox, because is it Series X? There's like so many different consoles. And also, you know, crossplay between that and like both consoles. I don't think the Switch, I didn't hear anything about that, but also PC. So that's like one really good thing, is that no matter what, you can always play with people. The one thing that's kind of odd though is that I don't know what they would do to make it fun to play with others, at least like consecutively, because live service usually entails that there's going to be they're trying to make a reason for you to come back all the time, regardless of challenges. Like there's always something new, or things are consistently changing. But I feel like once I've done enough like kick flips or something, I'm gonna be like, okay, this is kind of boring. Another comment that I've seen was that like, what if they lock specific moves and stuff that you can do, like a 360 flip or something, or an impossible or Christ air is like taken out of the game and you need to pay for it? That would be crazy. Something that I've seen lately was that Fortnite's like item shop is filled. It is filled with shit. It is like as capped out could be. It is fucking crazy. A lot of comments I've also seen was that Session is a really good game. I think I'll probably make a video about that, because Session looks interesting. I've seen a few videos like years ago. If it came out years ago, I remember seeing it. That's one thing. I just never really played it. Kind of a blip in my brain. Not that I don't like it. It was just something that didn't really catch my eye that harsh. I also just wasn't playing games like that at the time, I guess. I think it was PC only, and my computer, I didn't really have a computer like that yet, so you know, it was sort of like there wasn't really a point yet. But it does look interesting, so I think I'll make a video on it eventually, even if it's in some sort of alpha or beta or early access. Doesn't matter, I still want to try it. There's probably going to be some sort of deluxe edition of the game, I wouldn't doubt. Like you can spend $20 on a bundle or a $5 starter pack. That's a comment that I remember. And the thing for this game is that like, I'm not trying to hate on it. I remember one comment, I can't really find it right now, but I remember one comment of someone saying like, you're just based around hate or something like that, or negativity or something. I want you to understand, when like people like that who say, oh, you're just being negative about a AAA game that's becoming a not so good game. There are prime examples of good games that are out currently that do gaming correct. And I would say in a way correct. They walk the line, and they walk that path of this is how gaming should be. They try to set a standard that lots of games do not. A few examples would be Suicide Squad. No, I'm kidding. Not actually Suicide Squad. Elden Ring is a good example. That is a fully finished game. I'd say a good example of live service and attending to the community quite consistently, fixing issues as a live service game should be fixed as quickly as it as it should be, is Helldivers. Helldivers 2, it's updated very fast. They add content when needed. I think they just added their content recently of like mechs, and people got that. They nerfed some things, that doesn't matter, but like they update the game, so it'll be changing soon, like consistently, and they'll be adding more things for people to use, and that's great. I absolutely love that. I think that that's perfect for a live service game. Another prime example would be Fortnite when it first launched, where almost every single week, or like every 2 weeks, there was a new item being added. And it was one item, but it was just that one thing every week or every 2 weeks that kept consistently changing the game. It was like, oh, there's the bush. Oh, there's a suppressed SMG. Oh, there's the minis. That consistently adding stuff is good for the game. If Skate doesn't do that, it's gonna fail. I think that if they're not updating the game enough, it's just gonna hurt it. I would say the best shot that they have is adding several different places to skate, and or making the place to skate interesting. The only way that I can explain this is like, say they do all of what they're doing right now. Nothing that we say changes. They're just going with the way that they want it. It's online, live service, all that. Say they have a base map. It's a city. There's some downtown areas, some suburb areas or something. Like it's just a big area. One thing that they could heavily benefit from would be, you know, they have the whole area, all that stuff. And on top of that, there's areas that are being like, they're showing construction, and they update it every week or so. Every couple days, they add in kind of what they're doing with the area, teasing what could be that like environment. I think that would be something that would be good, but I don't know what else that they could do, because something that I saw was that the game, before certain like flip tricks and certain things like that were added, there was already an item shop in like the test. And that's not good, because usually what ends up happening for certain games is like, oh, the servers are down, but guess what is not down? The item shop. Because usually they're like, we gotta keep that open. We gotta keep that working. Fuck everything else, but that's gonna work. Call of Duty does that. Apex Legends does that. There's numerous games that suck that will have that issue. One thing I will leave off with before I, leave this, comment section area of the video is that thank you a lot, all of you who have watched and subscribed and liked and enjoyed and commented all that stuff on the last Skate video, because it was really awesome to see. Not only like seeing the view count go up and everything, but seeing that a lot of people did agree with what I had to say for this game, because it's just awesome. I am really glad that people, could speak their minds about it and found it interesting. I guess there isn't really that many people talking about it. I don't know. There's probably a bunch of skate YouTubers, but they just kind of are doing that whole, they get one update and then they make a 30-minute video on like one developer tweeting something. It's like, okay. But yeah, I plan on not doing that because that's not fun. All right, so this section of the video, there's only two. You have the comments and this, and the one thing that I want to start with is that I want to know, before I say any of what I have to say, of what you guys want to see for this game. If it was a perfect world, and say you were somehow like the CEO of EA or some shit like that, and you could control the way or the route that this game could go, kind of dictate what game you wanted. Comment that down below. Let me know exactly what you would want to see, whether you want it to be free to play or not, item shop or not, live service or not, do you want a story or not, how do you want the customization to work, how do you want, what people do you want in there, like celebrity wise, like skaters, stuff like that. What all do you want? Because I'm going to give my piece. Yours may be different. That's completely okay, but I want to know. So first things to get out the way. We're banking on the fact that this game is actually going to be fun and like enjoyable. I would say for this game, it's a $40 game. That's the first thing to start out with. Now, some people hear that and they're like, I don't want to have to pay for the game. I get that. But when you make a game free to play, there is no matter what is an item shop or something, because they need to make money somehow. I understand that. That's also one thing that people don't understand is, yes, when a game is free to play, of course there's an item shop. But the problem is when it's a game that shouldn't be free to play, like Skate, charging you for shit that you shouldn't be charged for. Now for me, I like customizing my stuff a lot. I like changing my outfits and making new outfits. I like the ability to change the colors. That's why I liked in at least Skate 3 that you could change a lot of the colors of like basic outfits. You could change it from basically the whole rainbow, and that was really nice. I enjoyed that because it gave me a little bit more of like, it was personal to myself. Not everyone looked the same as me. That was great. I love that. It would be an online game, but offline as well. Basically, the same way as Skate 3, where you can play offline, you have your own personal story, then there's online. Having the same system of like death races or whatever that they were called, deathmatch, not a deathmatch. It was a race of some sort. You have Hall of Meat and certain things like that. Whatever else they plan for like arcadey type mess around shit with online play, go for that. That would be great. If they're wanting a little bit of extra money on the side with certain things like that, since this game is completely different, but at the same time, the same as Skate 3 in a way, make it so that, you may not be able to get all of the special characters or anything like Dem Bones or anything like that, but make it so that you can pay $5, $2, $3. I would say more or less $3, because the cheaper it is, the more likely a lot of people are to buy it. That's how, I don't know if you, it's just, it's pretty simple to me. Make it so that you can get like certain, like Rob Dyrdek. I know I said that before. Tony Hawk would be super fucking funny for a game like this. And just anyone, really. Anyone that you would want. I wouldn't want to see anything of like, oh, it's Kratos and he's skating on the blades of chaos. Not anything stupid like that, but just have something interesting. Over time, add new maps. Make it so that there's certain sections that you can go to. Have the creator thing for making your own area to skate. That big ass monster stadium once you finish the game in Skate 3 was awesome, because you can literally do anything. That was fucking amazing. They need that again. And if they're gonna do some sort of DLC type of thing, I would say don't lock any multiplayer aspects behind anything. And if you are going to lock something multiplayer wise, let it be an outfit or something. Or I don't know. I don't exactly know what you could do with that, but don't do multiplayer, because that's immediately unfair if there's like issues like that. Unless it's like, you can pay for an outfit that shows that you got it. I don't know. It's something that has to do with the story maybe or something like that. Like kind of like it's like a $20 DLC, and then you can kind of, or like if you finish that part of the story, that DLC, you get a outfit from it. Like that would be nice. I would say make sure that you have literally every type of skating trick you possibly can. All of the shit from Skate 3, 2, 1, all of the things that are somewhat current, like new tricks that people could have come up with or different names, and all of that. Have it in the game. I understand it takes time, but that is probably one of the most important things when it comes to a skating game, because that quite literally is the skating game itself. Something that I've seen a lot that I am not against, nor am I necessarily for, being kind of rational here, is have a setting where you can switch it between, like, flip it and trick it, or whatever it's called, like the left and right stick, the right stick being the thing that does your tricks, and the left stick being your movement. You can change that to have it where it's the dual things. I believe Session does it. They should have that. Have it as a setting. If they are going to be doing parkour, make it so that the parkour feels like natural in terms of skating with it, where you wall right off of something, then you can hop onto your board into a, like, whatever, just cool shit like that. That would be interesting. Don't have anything like super goofy. Don't have anything where it's like you can throw your board. Like the magnetic board from Skate 3 was fine because that was just something to get your board back. Don't have it where I can throw my board, jump off into something, and then it immediately is magnetic, sucked to my feet, and then I land on it. Don't do that. I'd say overall, the game just needs to be playable. It needs to be fun. It needs to be something designed where you go, hey, there's multiplayer, but if you guys don't play it, that's completely fine, but at least try it and play it and buy it. It's going to be launched on every single platform, so that's going to be something that's great. I don't know. There's just those are the few things that I wanted for the game. Obviously, that's not going to happen. That's the whole idea. If anyone in the comments says anything of like, I don't know why you're talking about as if it's going to happen, the whole point is just to have an idea and just to say something, because granted they can't change it, but once they see that the player base goes down once the game comes out, like a ton of people play and then people just drop it because it's not fun, they'll probably change something eventually. But yeah, I don't really have much else to add for this kind of topic. Skate is a very interesting game. I would like to play it when it comes out fully. I'm not signing up for those alpha, beta tests, whatever the hell, because there's just no point in it. That's not what the game is going to be like. I'm judging an egg to a chicken. It's like there's nothing there yet, really, in my opinion. So there's a lot that we've seen. You can kind of judge that, but at the same time, it's like we don't know exactly what they plan on doing. So let's hope that they do something well for the game. They probably won't. If we're just being honest with ourselves, they're probably going to ruin this game, and that's completely fine because guess what? We still have the other ones. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys have a great day, great week, great month, great whole rest of the year. Honestly, it doesn't really matter when it is. I hope that's great for you guys, though. See ya.